How to buy a house as a single mom. If you found this video, chances are this topic relates to you, and that's terrific because I've put some guidelines together to help you buy a house as a single mom. If you found this content to be of value and you'd like to learn more, please, I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Or if you want to reach out to me, you can get my contact information by clicking on the card above. Hi, it's Kristine Newman with Kristine Newman Real Estate at Davenport Realty here in beautiful Burlington, Ontario. And in this video, I'm going to give you some helpful hints on how to buy a home as a single mom. Did you know that in 2018, over 1.64 million single parent families are living in Canada? That's a lot of families with only one parent making housing decisions and paying the expenses for his or her children and that housing. Single parents have challenges. They've got financial pressures, fatigue, guilt, some stress that go above and beyond normal parenting stress. And like many of the single moms out there, I too had to establish a new home for my two children, who at the time were 9 and 14. It was stressful and overwhelming, and there is so much concern over the welfare of your children that making decisions can almost be paralyzing. And for the first time in my life, I doubted myself of what the right move was. But I learned some things through that process. That personal experience, combined with my knowledge as a realtor, helped me gear a lot of helpful hints for other single parents when they go to purchase their first home as a single person. For some, this may be the first time you've ever made a big decision on your own without your spouse. And while it can be nerve-wracking, it's also very doable and very rewarding. So, step number 1, understand what you can afford. I will not go to step number 2 until you do step number 1. It's critical. We need to get you pre-approved. It's so important. You absolutely need to know where you sit financially. You need to know what size of a mortgage you qualify for and what price of a home you can then afford. I will not show you a single property until we know this, because there is nothing worse than finding your dream home only to realize that you can't afford it. And we know you don't need that disappointment right now. So, to know what you can afford, you need to speak to a mortgage specialist, either at your bank or a broker, about your financial options and the amounts available to you. If you don't know anybody, I know some people. Don't worry about that. We can get you that resource and they will guide you through that process. They'll ask for a series of questions and documents. We'll put that together and they will help you determine that amount. This is a critical first step, and I can't stress it enough. Hand in hand with this is you'll need to understand the expenses associated with purchasing and maintaining a home. Closing costs can be significant and they can eat at your down payment, which will then affect the price of the home that you can afford. So I'll work with you to review what they are and ensure your budget accounts for all of them. Secondly, please understand the importance of good credit and a good down payment. The amount of down payment you have impacts your mortgage amount and ultimately the price of a home you can afford. Raising capital can be hard, so I'll work with you on alternative ways you can raise capital to purchase your dream home. Purchasing a home with rental income, for example, may be the way we go. It's a great alternative to generate capital. Your credit score will determine what type of lenders will finance you, and that can be costly if you're looking at alternative lenders due to poor credit scores. So we need to find out what your credit score is. You go to TransUnion or Equifax and you find out your score. Generally, scores above 640 or so are great. Scores lower, not so great, and we may need to address it. It may mean putting off that purchase for a while. We'll also review yours carefully to see what your options are, whether it is alternative lending or not. Thirdly, do you have a wish list for a home? And is it realistic? We need to determine the best fit for you and your family. The first thing I'm going to say to you is difficult, but it's important to realize that what you can afford as a single person is very different than what you afforded when you were married. Two incomes make a huge difference in a mortgage financing as does one. So you need to start aligning your expectations with your new financial reality. It can be hard, but it's a very important mindset to have. So we will put together a new wish list of neighborhoods. So do you want to keep your kids in the same school catchment area? Are there areas of town that you are attracted to more than others? Or perhaps there are family and other support systems in areas of towns you'd like to be in. How many bedrooms you need, how many bathrooms you need, what are the finishes that you want, all that is in a normal buying criteria. But there's things like large or small lots. What size of property are you really willing to take on? And I'm going to warn you from personal experience that taking on a large property when you're a single mom is overwhelming and tough at times. It's expensive and time consuming. Yes, it's nice, but unless you have gobs of time and gobs of money and some help, I'm going to caution you here. There are so many demands on your time as a single parent that cutting the lawn may not be the top of your priority. It's just something to think about. And that leads me to, would you want a condo versus a freehold? Once again, how much house maintenance are you wanting to take on? How much do you want to spend on other people doing maintenance? How much money do you have aside to pay for the furnace that breaks and so on? There's a lot to pay for, so maybe paying a condo fee may help you in the long run than taking on the responsibilities of all the maintenance and expenses of a freehold home. Once again, just something to consider. And last but not least, you need to team up with some experts like myself. Let us do some of the legwork for you. Let us pre-screen properties and let us take some of the responsibility off of your shoulders. We'll arrange appointments and to go out with you on those appointments to look at the properties. We'll help fine-tune your wish list because it will change. What you thought was important at the beginning of this process does evolve and it takes on other priorities. You'll also get educated as we go, and this may change your wish lists. So we need to then determine the right price for that home. Is what they're asking for good value? Is it not? We do not want you to pay more than market value. And I'll help to determine the right price for the home and make recommendations to you. I'll submit all the paperwork and I'll negotiate on your behalf. I'll put you in contact with service providers like mortgage brokers, like lawyers, like painters, like carpenters, like movers. Having the right real estate team can make a seemingly scary experience into one of your most rewarding ones. You are not alone. Thank you. So if you found this content to be of value to you and you'd like to learn more about buying, selling, and investing in real estate, please take a look at some of my other videos I have to offer. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking on my logo below. I'm Kristine Newman with Kristine Newman Real Estate. Thank you for watching.